So you're joining me today to have a look at what I'm going to do with my bathroom. I fitted this out about 2 years ago now. It was more about making a bathroom functional and so we could move on board. And now I'm at the process where the boat is starting to become finished and the bathroom is probably the biggest task I've got. Stick around, watch the video and see what you think, and let me know what your thoughts are when you see all of what I've done at the end. So we're going to use some acrylic primer undercoat, and we're just going to whitewash the walls with the acrylic. And as you can see, I've got lots of screw holes everywhere. None of the windows in the whole boat have been finished yet, but the first step is just to whitewash everything so it's all sealed. Okay, so I've got everywhere whitewashed, but one of the things I've got to do is fill all of the holes, and some of the screws are slightly proud, so I'm going to sink those back in, fill, and then sand everywhere, and then that is then prepped for paint and the other stuff I'm going to do. I'm in two minds to actually keep this unit, so I will make a decision fairly shortly about that. Next step, doing all the filling. Right, so I've sanded down all the walls. As you can see, they're all sanded now, and we're now going to go over again with the white just to seal each part where I've broke through into the board. But it's all nice, apart from the radiator. I haven't even touched that, but I'm not going to do that yet. The plan is it's going to be very similar to what it is now, apart from the sink is going to go over slightly. There's going to be shelves down this side, and then drawers and shelves that side. So I might change it slightly. It might be straight and then all cupboards that way. I'm not really sure yet, but one way or another, there's going to be drawers and drawers and shelves down that side. For those that are fitting out boats, there's nice big gaps up at the top here, and you'll see that there's plenty of them. They're all big gaps. This is by design. As you can see, nice big gap there. So when you're fitting out a boat with a steel hull, the steel will move. So to try and do perfect gaps everywhere, you're just not going to do it. So you need to allow for expansion, and that's why down the edges and where there's joins, it's not a big issue because you've just put cloaking strips on the joins. It allows for the expansion and detraction. If you try and make the perfect gap, and then you paint it and you make it all nice and flush and perfect trims and no trims to join things, what'll happen is when it expands, it push things like the walls out and things like that, because there's no way you're going to stop that. This is a steel hull. It's connected to the steel hull by timbers and then, you know, these boards. And if it doesn't move, it basically forces it, because expanding metal is not going to stop for nothing. And you'll find is doors won't shut and things like that. So, or they're shut and they won't open. And then when they detract again, you'll have big gaps everywhere. So to build it in, it looks like you're being shabby by not making the perfect joint, but actually it's perfectly acceptable with this type of build. Anyway, so next thing is we're gonna paint the ceiling, paint all the walls again. If I feel like it, I'm going to take this off and prep that bit as well. Right, so I'm disconnecting this radiator because I've got to paint all the way behind. So first of all, taking the caps off here so I can take them off. I've loosened off one of the top valves here, and basically these two I've shut off. That one's dripping now. I've just drained one side. It has still got some antifreeze in there. But as you can see, I've collected the antifreeze because one, I don't want it going in the canal, and two, I want to actually put it back in my system. But it's very important that you make sure you keep this away from animals or yourself or any youngsters, because this is incredibly dangerous stuff. It's got glycolin, which is very toxic to us, and it could kill you, you know, if you've got a cat or a dog on board or wherever you are. If they drink that, it smells sweet, so they do tend to go and try and lick it, but it can make them really poorly or kill them, so make sure you keep that stuff out of the way. So all I'm doing is disconnecting these two valves here, undoing the radiator and taking that off, painting behind, and then I'll put it all back. Nice, quick and easy way. And then what I'm going to do, once I've got it back on the wall, I'll put the valves back closed. I'll open both top valves and try and pour it in one side and let the air come to the top, and I'll just top it all up from here, because I don't want to be topping it up and bleeding the air out, so I can actually get the air out from here. Right, so we have got all of the walls now painted and they're looking pretty good. I've got white on the ceilings, a very light blue on the walls, and that looks all good. But I have used matte paint on everything. So because this is a bathroom and it's on a boat, basically it could be exposed to damp, even though we don't get damp on this boat. I'm going to varnish it. So I've got a satin varnish to go over everything, and that'll seal everything and give it a lot more of a long-lasting life. So there we go. That's all prepped and painted. All looking quite nice. I'm just going to fit the radiator back on the wall. And we're then ready to do some interesting stuff on the walls and move the sink over and things like that. So that is one painted bathroom, radiator back on the wall, all nice and neat. And all we've got to do now is give it a really good scrub once we've finished, and put all the trims around and build a unit up here. And I'm also going to try and do the window surround and try and complete this room before next weekend. But I think it looks quite good. So that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. In the next video I'm going to build a cabinet in here, put all the trims around and finish off the whole bathroom.